Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, geeks of all ages, welcome to Morning Geeks episode number 8. My name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. Welcome to the show we call Morning Geeks. It's live on Facebook. Of course, you can also watch it in multiple fashions over on YouTube. You can watch it over on Geekazine.com. Go over to Geekazine.com for all your needs and wants. Of course, this last week I was out of the office as I was in Las Vegas, so we'll talk about that in a couple seconds here. But first of all, I wanted to say Happy World Day to combat desertification. There we go. Desertification and drought. Happy World Day to combat desertification and drought. So, also, Happy Father's Day on Sunday. Of course, if you're in Guatemala or El Salvador, Happy Father's Day today. So that's how that works here. And of course, a little bit of sad news, lots of sad news in this last week from Florida this week. Lots of shootings that happened. First, the Voice actress or singer, she got shot. And then, of course, the Orlando shooting, and then the death of the 2-year-old Lane Graves getting snatched by the alligator, which is sad. So my condolences to everyone that got affected by all these tragedies. Especially a good shout out to my friend Scott, who I know actually was affected by the Orlando shooting, as one of his friends was in the club and I guess passed away. So thoughts go out to you, man. And yeah, it's a very wild week, and hopefully we can get all past it and move on from there. All right, well, guess we got a couple cool new tech things here today. First of all, if you've been following my Instagram, which you should, Geekazine, you've noticed that when I went to Vegas, last week I went to Vegas for Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Discover. It's an enterprise conference for Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. And the idea is they put out their new ideas, their new hardware, software, get people behind things, new announcements and stuff like that. And they, of course, they had a big Star Trek theme there. So they had a nice booth where they had the actual shuttle pods for the next Star Trek movie that they used in the movie that they had on display there, which was really cool. And of course, the Star Trek captain's chair, which I got to sit in. That was a lot of fun. But they also talked about the different things in Enterprise that are coming up. The big thing that they talked about was their relationship with a company called Docker, which makes it's like it's not a physical container, but it creates containers so you can pass stuff through the cloud. There are updates in the cloud. There are updates on storage and all the other bits and pieces. Won't go into detail on here because, it can get pretty technical. But over on youtube.com/Geekazine, I was part of these what are called coffee talks, in which I recorded it, and so you get to hear a little bit from the executives on these products. If you're interested in that, check that out over at youtube.com/Geekazine. So, and then of course, since I went there, they gave me this. This is a nice Viper bottle, and the thing about the Viper is it said, well, it keeps hot items hot for 8 hours and cold items cold for 16 hours. So if you follow my Instagram, you saw me taking pictures as I had this out in the 90-degree heat as I was checking to see how cold it was. And I put a bunch of ice cubes in, put in some water, set it out in the sun. 6 hours later, there were still ice cubes in there. So that was pretty cool. So last night, I made my cup of coffee for this morning, and I put it in here, and then I put that in the refrigerator. The outside was cold, but the inside, nice and hot. It is still nice and hot. I mean, I didn't get it up to a piping hot thing to see if it would stay piping hot, but it's hot enough for me to drink. I don't like cold coffee, not one bit. So I did that. I'll try it in the freezer and see how that works. But I made this cup of coffee last night, and it's still hot, and that's awesome. So I'm excited about that. The other tech, as you might see on my wrist here, is the LG Watch Urbane. This is, let's get it turned on. There we go. And of course, it turns off. Yeah, there we go. So this is the cellular watch, which means that I can keep my phone at home while I'm out running, because I run. That's what I do. So, but I'm out there. So I've been testing this out. Friends at Verizon gave this to me to test out. Of course, it's a review model, but still, my opinions are my own. So I'll be testing out. I'm not a big fan of watches. I don't wear too many watches. I used to as a youngster. As a youngin', I used to do it. Nowadays, I don't wear no watch. Those things, they just crazy. So the one thing that I do notice about this is it is a little bit heavy. And a lot of people have said, that's kind of more of a man's watch than anything. So those two things, if that doesn't bother you, then this might be a good watch. Of course, it's also an Android Wear watch, and it doesn't pair as well as I'd like with the iPhone. What can you do? So, but anyway, that's that. This is this. You are you. I am I. And you can check everything out over at Geekazine.com. Go over to Geekazine.com and go from there. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, geeks of all ages, let's get started with the news and get you to going for this week. All right, and we're going to start over at the E3 Gaming Expo. Well, not really. I mean, we're not going there, but we are definitely going to talk about it. E3 Gaming Conference was this week in California. Some of the big news included Xbox One S and the Project Scorpio, which might just be Xbox 2? Wait, now, does this mean my Xbox One is going to be called Xbox One Plus? I don't know if they follow Apple's idea. The other news is that Microsoft is catching up to Sony by letting people download games and play them on not only Xbox but also on the PC. There are they added what are called clubs, which are not they're not for baby seals. Don't worry about that. But there's another type of chat room that you can totally get trolled in. So if you want to check that all out, we've got links in the show notes there. In the meantime, PlayStation showed their upcoming PlayStation VR, which the system, and of course there are PS2 new models and new games and stuff like that. We'll have more on the VR unit a little bit later in the show. Many new games are on their way, including Resident Evil 7. VR will launch on October 13th, and it's actually for a low price of $399, which is really cool. A lot cheaper than the Oculus Rift, and possibly better than a Samsung VR or Google Cardboard, because you don't have to put a phone into a device, and you can actually save battery life on your phone. Finally, Nintendo talked about their NX system and the new titles for Wii U and 3DS. The Pokemon Go Plus is an accessory that connects with a smartphone, so you can take your Pokemon on the go. And finally, The Legend of Zelda Breathe Your Wild is going to be released in about 2017, which is the only reason why I would buy a Nintendo anyway in this day and age. And I bought the original NES and the Super NES. And no, I didn't do the Cube, but anyway, you want to check out more on that? We got, like I said, we've got it all in the show notes. Check it all out from there. In the meantime, Apple held their what they call the WWDC, or the World Developer Conference, in California as well this week. iOS 10 was the big announcement to their show. The lock screen is getting an upgrade. Siri is coming to Mac and other platforms, most likely to compete with Amazon and their Echo or Alexa or whatever you want to call it. So whose name do you call out in the middle of the night while you're sleeping in your bed? So Apple TV will have a single sign-on option and iPhone control. Apple Pay will be coming to the computer. Mac's new OS version will be called Sierra and will be available this fall. And finally, they're going to be giving music an upgrade, which hopefully means that Apple's gonna be fixing their music issues. So, but the big news: if you run at web apps, Apple will require the app transport security be added by 2017. What does this mean? Well, it's similar to the HTTPS. If you go to a web page, you go to HTTP or HTTPS for secure channel. Same thing here. That's the same idea with the apps. It adds a level of security so your personal data won't be phished by hackers as easily, and now you can spend thousands of dollars on your Clash of Clans army without worry whatsoever. I must have missed. Oh yeah, no, yeah, no, okay, yeah, there we are. Hello, how you doing? You know, I've always wanted an accordion. I really have. So, part because Weird Al, but also because I'm a musician. Well, Al is releasing a box set, and guess what? He's putting it into an accordion. Well, not really. It's a replica of his accordion. It's going to be available on CD, vinyl, and digital format. Probably not with an accordion there, but you'll be able to get it as early as next year. 15 CD box set, all his music. So I have his music on vinyl and CD. So why not get the box set? That's my thinking. So I don't know. What are you going to get it? Let me know. Tweet me over at Geekazine. We have fish, starships, and dragons, all new to this week. 13 years after Nemo was finally found, Dory gets lost. I know, right? Ellen DeGeneres and Albert Brooks are back to reprise their roles as fish too fancy for your tank. This time they go on a quest to find Dory's parents, who are held captive by some guy that's keeping him well-fed and away from all those predators. I know, right? This is why this Carl's Jr. commercial is getting flack. Look closely at the burger. You're getting sleepy. Oh, wait, no. This might be the first instance of a CGI burger in a commercial. I guess the fake burger they conditioned with hairspray and other chemicals that'll kill you if you eat the burger wasn't good enough for the shot, so they poorly superimposed the burger into Todd Gurley's hands. Hey, where'd his fingers go? LeVar Burton, Jerry Ryan, and Carl Urban never got to fly the Enterprise, only stood on green screens and prop sets. Well, thanks to VR and Ubisoft with Star Trek Bridge Crew, the three got together to virtually fly a Federation starship. Of course, this is a game on PlayStation VR. They could navigate, attack, and even look around to see the others do their job, all without that fake shake, you know, like this. The first trailer of the remake to the 1977 movie Pete's Dragon hit YouTube a couple days ago. What looks like a green version of Sully from Monsters University with wings. The new version has Oaks Fegley as Pete, Bryce Dallas Howard as Grace, Robert Redford as Grace's father, and hey, it's Carl Urban again. What a cool guy. The movie will hit theaters on August 12th. And that is new to this week. Interesting side note there. I actually said Star Wars instead of Star Trek, and I realized that at like 7:15 this morning. So I was frantically redoing that part right before the show. Yeah, it's Star Wars. No, Star Trek. This is actually a pretty cool game. I can't wait to try it on the PlayStation VR when it comes out and go from there. Let's move back into the news and go keep going and drink some coffee because we need more coffee. That's true. Superman is coming to Supergirl again. Tyler Hoechlin, whatever it is. He will make a 2-episode appearance in season 2 at the beginning of season 2. Not sure if it's how it's going to work, since we really don't know how Hoechlin will portray the Man of Steel. Since the Supergirl budget has been severely cut, will he be a big part in the episode? Will he have heat vision or speed or something like that, or will he just stand there going, "You go, Supergirl"? And that's pretty much it. And of course, since we don't know what the character will do, will we get behind it to really get excited on that? Now, Hoechlin has been in some other shows like Seventh Heaven, and I think he was in Teen Wolf. And I guess he's going to be in the new sequels to 50 Shades of Grey, playing a character that was in the books but never was really talked about in the third person, never really came on the show. So I don't know, maybe it's your plan to see it for that. I don't know. So, but anyway, check it out. That's when Supergirl comes to the CW this fall. Speaking of the Man of Steel, if you're a fan of the Man of Steel, I have a tattoo of the Man of Steel. He is definitely one of my favorite superhero characters. If you're ever in an argument, though, that who the best superhero is, then pull out this data. Tell them that the University of Lichter, I think it is. They published their findings on who is the best equipped superhero. After 7 years of study, they found that Superman is the best well-equipped. Now, according to this chart right here, Wolverine, Mystique, Thor, and the Flash are also in the top 5, with Spider-Man rounding it out. Notice how much DC over, or how much Marvel over DC is here. This is a chart that they published over on Dropbox. You can pull that up at any time. But notice there's no Aquaman. No Aquaman. That's sad. Sad. Finally, would you bear all to get a loan for your new house or car? Well, in China, if you don't have a car title or for a quick loan, you can actually do this. You could take off all your clothes, pull out your ID, put it right next to you, take a nude selfie, and then send it to your loan provider. That's what they're talking about here. Let's do this. There we go. So this is actually the picture of one of the people with their ID. It's all blurred out, of course, and I'm not seeing anything because this is a family-safe show, So, not sure how much you're going to get with an au natural verification option, excuse me. But if you don't pay it back, they waste absolutely no time in getting your photos out to the interwebs. The photo has your ID on it, like I said, so no one will doubt that it's you, because you could say, oh, no, that was Photoshopped. Somebody Photoshopped me in there. So no, your ID is right there. Yourself is there. It's all there. So the original article talks with somebody who actually participated in this loan program. She got behind on her payments. She took out more money because she needed it. So she got to this point where she couldn't pay it back. It's a 30% interest rate for that for a loan like that, at least in her case. And so they came back and they started saying, well, if you don't pay this, we're going to start posting this photo and we're going to do it aggressively. And apparently this has happened to other people, and they've so you could go up on the internet and probably, if you do some deep searching, you could probably find some of these photos and see what they're talking about. But that's just wild. Would you do it though? Would you bear all, throw up your ID, take a picture, send it to your loan, your payday loans, whatever, and say, hey, I want $20, $50. How much is that worth? I mean, I'm probably only worth $20, but somebody like Kim Kardashian, she's kind of been out on the internet like that already. What's her worth? I mean, if you're an exhibitionist, why would you want to pay that back? I was like, yeah, go ahead, throw those pictures up. I really don't care. I think it's more on the idea of shaming, and it's also so if you try to go to another loan dealer, they say, your nude photos are up online, you're not getting any money from me. So, I don't know. It's an interesting idea, but and I'm pretty sure it's never going to fly in the United States. But if you're in China and you want to take out a loan, you've got options. That's all I'm saying. So, but yeah, definitely tweet me. Tell me what you think. Would you send a nude selfie with your ID to a loan person so you could get a loan? Tweet me over at Geekazine, geekazine@gmail.com. You can even call my hotline at 608-205-4378 and go from there. Well, that goes from there. That's it for this week and Morning Geeks. Thanks a lot for sitting with me and enjoying some coffee made last night. We will be back next Friday, as the schedule is we're good. I don't think I have any travel in the next few weeks, so we're going to be doing some straight shot Friday morning live and Morning Geeks. So come on back over to facebook.com/Geekazine. Think Magazine, put in a geek, and go from there. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. You guys geek out. We're going to see you next week, and take care.